Blackman gets 2 takedowns early on and the crowd are angry.
Bullshit.
Hello and welcome back to the only wrestling podcast that exclusively rebooks, reviews and reimagines the worst of wrestling's past. We are Better Call Creative, and as ever, competing in the Brawl for All under his real name, it is Mark Canterbury himself. It's Jack.
My head was gone. Hello.
And competing under his gimmick name is Brackus. It's Sam Chance.
Hello.
And I am your host. In, out, we're shaking all about. It's Mark Mero himself. It's Ben Chance.
I'm fainted up for this.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Oh, my word.
We do the worst of wrestling. It's the Brawl for All. That's all we got to say.
Let's move on. Not even wrestling.
Yeah, we're going to the Brawl for All, folks. I'm sorry. We chose this gimmick. We're doing the Brawl for All. Now, I normally would ask, normally it's fairly sarcastic, did you enjoy it? But there is always the possibility there might be a little bit that you enjoyed. Was there anything at all, remotely, that you, in the slightest, enjoyed about this?
There was, but it wasn't in the tournament.
Is it a funny match?
It involved some fruit, but the tournament itself was diabolical.
Yeah,
we'll get it out of the way.
It was awful. Sam?
Oh my word. Oh, this is fucking awful. And there's nothing happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a big toss.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, this is pretty awful.
Very good theme.
It has. So,
Ezekiel Jackson had it.
The Brawl for All began on June the 29th, 1998. And the UK number 1 is a song we've heard this morning. It was Three Lions.
Was it? Because the World Cup was
1998 version of Three Lions.
Seems to know. That was 96. Cheers for the heroes.
Cheers for Steve Williams on the mat. Yeah, poor Steve Williams. It wasn't coming home for him. And the US, it featured Jerry Springer.
The boys mine.
The boys mine. Randy and Malika. That boy,
the original same girl. The same bloke. I love the ending when he goes, oh, what the hell? I live next door to each other, you fool. He just looks so
how did these two talk to each other?
What the hell? You fool. I think the cheater has been stupid. I would cheat on this one woman with the next door name. You moron.
Well, that's some ruined forever.
At least get to another floor. You want to stay the next build? It's time building. Go to the next floor.
Well, Sam's torn that apart. Speaking of torn, the Canadian number 1 was torn. It was torn by Natalie Imbruglia.
Imbruglia.
She's Australian, isn't she?
Yeah, she's an Aussie.
Which is strange because they went with Ricky Martin and Maria.
He's Canadian, I think so. I think he's Spanish Canadian. What deal? We don't like this bloke, do we? Have you went?
Did either of them compete at the World Cup?
Eh?
Ricky Martin and that?
No, Canada or Australia?
No.
Not at 98, no.
Neither of them qualified.
No, they both lost in the playoffs.
02, they both was in, weren't they? Or Canada?
No, 06, Australia got in for the first time since 74.
Oh, the war in 02?
No, and because they kept losing to Uruguay.
Oh, yeah, they always had the
They kept having the South American or the Asian.
Eventually just
And
went,
Canada
just
have
beat
only
Japan.
been in it twice, in 86 and the last one in 2022. That's it.
Box office was Dr. Doolittle. That was topping the box
Dr.
office. Not Dr. Death, Dr. Doolittle. And released during the run of the Brawl for All was WWF Warzone.
No.
Which,
That's amazing. Look at how out of date it is.
featured Brett.
Still got Brett Bolton and Orbit.
That is better in it.
It's not like 97. How long did it take him?
Same day, on the 29th of June 1998, the music channel The Kiss TV
Oh, was it born?
debuted.
Now it's dead.
And now it's dead.
Oh.
In time of recording the last episode of
Same
Kiss.
girl could have been the first song.
It could have been, yeah.
Right, it did win the loop.
It could have been the first and last if it was 3 lines. And of course, as Sam said, the World Cup was in full flow, and in the last 16, France beat Paraguay 1-0 after extra time.
Yeah, it was
nearly
Italy.
went
I thought
out.
they beat Italy, but it was Italy in the quarters.
Yeah, they beat Paraguay. They almost went out. How the world would have been
Paraguay.
different. Paraguay win the World Cup. So there you have it. We sadly didn't play for West Bromwich Albion. We were
Were we in the World Cup?
No, we were preparing for a terrible season where we almost went down.
You started with Barnsley there.
Yeah, well, that year.
98, 99.
98-99, yeah. We started
The following, the season
on my
before we finished
birthday.
10th.
Played
And we
Barnsley.
finished 12th the year after.
Yeah,
98, 99.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, it would be. So it'd be the year after where we
Yeah.
went shit.
yeah.
Actually, it was all right. Then we was looking forward to a
so
decent-
mediocre.
We was looking forward to a Dennis Smith special. When
It was
there
the
was draw
stroke
off.
of the time.
Yes.
You am where you am now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So, the Brawl for All then. You can watch a full episode on the Brawl for All for Dark Side of the Ring.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that does explain quite a bit about what was going on behind the scenes. Vince Russo states within that TV programme, and it is the sort of consensus of what it actually was that JBL was basically backstage bragging, saying if it was real, I'd beat everyone up. So he went, all right then. And he went to Vince and suggested a legitimate shoot fight tournament so everyone could settle their locker room brags. And Vince went,
It's so weird, like, we're gonna do this thing, shoot fighting, because of Bradshaw, and so Brackus and Savio are there. What the fuck? What
No,
do you want about?
I think it was basically that. It's like, okay, let's make it a shoot fight, but we've got to put him in boxing gloves and allow Jake to.
yeah, well, he did say that. He says, you put the gloves on him and we'll let him. But it's not a shoot fight, is it?
No,
I mean,
it's
a
just
shoot
fumbling
fight.
about.
yeah, it's just bad
Shoot
boxing.
fighting,
But they did have it like they got an extra pay for entering, I think.
Yeah,
They get
But
him,
when it caps on everything else on the show by basically saying everything else is
It's
fake.
fake, yeah, which has been true
Which is
so
still
all
no
over.
Yeah,
way.
that's always the
But
problem.
Why would you insult the intelligence of your own audience?
Don't know. I mean, I think having the gloves improves that a little bit because it kind of gets around a little
Makes
bit.
it
That
worse,
is, but you know, they am trying to get over that it is a shoot fight for real. And then coming up next is Stone Cold versus Kane, First Blood. Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
it's
just-
come out and shoot fire.
Yeah.
Paul Bearer's head or something like that.
But, well, you decide whether it was a good idea. So they decided 16 men who would be willing to take part in this. And as Sam just said, that was because mainly they were paid a bit more money to do it.
And these were lower job
Yeah.
guys, basically.
And apparently the tease was the winner would go on to have a little bit of a feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Not what happened.
I think that's the beginning.
Buckets.
I mean, Austin don't want to work with Mero after he got powerbombed by Sable. Why would he watch this and go, I'm feuding with it?
Yeah. I'm
confused with Paul.
Mero could have won it and lost every match the way things went. So we do start off on June the 29th episode of Brawl. So this is stacked. I mean, on this show, the World Championship changes hands.
That was just the night after King of the Ring.
Yeah.
I mean, all we can do is look lovingly through the frosted window at that moment because we're watching this shit. Blackman is warming up backstage. So the rules, it's 3 1-minute rounds, which I don't think helps.
No,
because
so short.
So short. Well, it helps us because it gets it done.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help the contest. It's 5 points. Initially, it says for punches, but like,
What's
that mean?
5 points a punch.
It's 5 points for each round for whoever landed the most punches. Then there's 5 points for a takedown, 10 points for a knockdown, and a knockout ends it all.
What is a knockdown now?
Well,
because a takedown's a knockdown.
There's two of the knockdowns later on where Pierre just goes, "Oh, call me off."
But he's only got one eye.
Mark Mero's out first. JR tells us it's going to be a mix of boxing and wrestling with the punches and the takedowns. Thanks, JR. The Brawl for All theme plays for both men, and it does that all the way through the tournament, doesn't it?
I don't mind that as a stylistic thing to it.
Yeah.
But watching it all in a row makes you hate it.
Yeah. I mean, Mark Mero can box, but Blackman's going to kill him. Like,
The problem I have with Mark in it, his gimmick is a boxer. He's got gloves on, so you think box. And then he gets
murdered.
It's because there's a lot of takedowns.
That's
because in boxing you can't just take somebody down.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shawn Michaels says it later on. Like, well, a wrestler's always going to win against a boxer. They just take you down. Like, that's what happens, and that is what happens. Like, so Danny Hodge then.
Oh yes. This is one of JR's boys.
Yeah, it's just an old shoot wrestler. He's quite a big famous wrestler from the past. I think he had his own promotion, didn't he? And stuff.
Great pliers with his hands.
Yeah.
And
he does look like a legitimate.
He wore he was drowning or something.
Yeah.
And he broke his neck and he just punched the car window and swam back to safety.
Yeah, I can believe it. But like.
And now he's doing the Brawl.
He looks very old.
Yeah.
Looks very old and out of touch.
I bet it.
So, round one. Here we go. Blackman gets 2 takedowns early on and the crowd are angry.
Bullshit.
There's bullshit and booze ringing out as Blackman gets a shot in. Mero's taken down, and unofficially, we have the very first match of the Brawl for All. Unofficially, is 25-0 at the start. What the fuck is this?
Dear.
Oh, second round, Mero gets in a left up, but then he's taken down easily twice. He gets stung with a punch, and then we get a "We Want Wrestling" chant. There you have it, folks. This is dead. Mero needs a KO, we're told, in the third round. Even the graphic at this point, you probably didn't even spot it.
It's got 2.
Round 2, yeah. They got it wrong.
I thought that because I thought, have I got this wrong?
No, it still says round 2, yeah. They're not even arsed. They're both at this point shattered. So the last round is both of them just sort of doing nothing. And then they don't even announce the scores. They don't get them into the ring middle like in boxing. They just go, Blackman's the winner.
Here's your winner, Steve Blackman.
And then Mero and Blackman hug, which, again, like, Mero's a heel. Like, it's
Next week, you're shitting on Sable.
It's just a little bit. Well, no, it's not a little bit shit. It's really shit.
It's crap. They could have had a better match to start, and but have somebody who's going to throw punches, because people in these things, when you watch boxing or anything as a real into it, you want to see somebody get knocked out.
You find that out later on. The ones that get any sort of reaction are the ones that have got the big punches. But if Blackman hadn't got injured, he would have won this tournament because he's the one who just takes you down. He just took him down every match.
I've got unofficially 300 points.
Why is he it unofficial as well. Who is the official? Like, what the fuck? You are the official people, aren't you? You're running it.
Madness.
Bollocks, this is. Anyway, Mark Canterbury, who's going by his legal name, not Henry O. Godwin, is out.
I think he had changed those Southern Justice, were they, at this point?
He did say
And
that.
he was-
He said though.
Henry Godwin,
Yeah, he said he previously Henry Godwin, but I think at this point he
But
with
they
Jeff
officially
Jerry,
switched.
and it was
Southern Justice.
Southern Justice, Mark Canterbury and Dennis
Dennis
Knight.
Knight,
I forgot Phineas's name.
Mark Canterbury has a Hank Williams t-shirt on, which is brilliant. Bradshaw hasn't chosen his.
Yeah.
I know. Bradshaw as well.
I'm so hard I can beat you, big yeah.
He fucking loves this.
Oh,
doesn't
he
he?
does.
No, sit down.
There's something so poetic with the way it ends.
I know.
Yeah, because like,
Great.
fuck me, he takes
Give a little bit.
Yeah.
Then take it away.
You know what? I'll take it serious.
You deserve this, Bradshaw.
This one is a little bit better to start with the swinging punches.
It's like two drunks though.
sloppy punches.
Something like that.
That's what a lot of it is.
It's like Mark Canterbury. That fight.
Canterbury cannot. He cannot fight at all. He looks pissed. He's come out the club 3 o'clock in the morning. He ain't happy with the cloud. He's clawing in the air.
Madness.
Bradshaw looks stronger. Canterbury does try to take down Bradshaw, but no. And they both look like they've punched themselves out in about 40 seconds. Both done.
Absolutely fucked.
Canterbury is caught early on in round 2 and staggered, but he does somehow stay up, and I don't quite know how he does. But we get booze. And then round 3, they've at least sorted out the graphic on round 3. Canterbury takes down Bradshaw, but nothing else happens. The crowd actually count down to the end and cheer. And Bradshaw is just announced the winner. 2 matches in, I suppose the second fight was slightly better from a spectacle point of view.
I bet you.
The first fight was better from a technical point of view, and neither of them were any good.
Well, the other big thing is I'm thinking, well, what? You know, who's in it? What's the bracket?
Yeah, they don't even announce that, do
What's
they?
the reason? What's did the winner get? There's no bracket shown until you're just thinking
Until
how many
what the
matches are there in this bloody thing?
I don't think they've announced it's a 16-man.
You don't know until all of a sudden 2 people who've already fought and fighting again. Well, not one. Well, one of them lost.
The big issue really is Ken Shamrock not being in it so well, because
No.
within this company at the moment there's 2 legitimate UFC fighters. One of them is in it, but we don't know
Which
that
is
yet.
the one that you'd think is designed to get to there.
Yeah. If that was the purpose of it, at least you've got that build throughout to sell to the crowd that, these could get to the end, and you can see it.
Martial arts fans who want to tune in.
Possibly.
But
It's just not done, yeah. It's just not done.
No, what you want to watch?
Mark Canterbury.
Bracket.
And also, like,
This is on his match.
This is also full of people that the crowd aren't already cheering for.
Yeah.
Like, they're not cheering already for him anyway. So why would they cheer when the gloves are on? Like,
what a group of people!
did you enjoy that?
That's what it was for it. They ain't going to get no better.
Trust me, it doesn't. July the 6th then, and we get our first look at Brackus. And he's got some pimply back. He loves to stick a needle in his buttock. I'm telling you that much. He
Ever
loves
since
a
we
roid.
watched the for Bob Buchanan, ever since we watched that one shotgun show on YouTube, one of my recommendations has this August '97, and on the thumbnail is Brackus' debut promo. So every time I go on YouTube, I can see fucking Brackus.
The only way to get rid of it is to watch it.
I am not
Honestly.
fucking watching.
I'll tell you one thing, he is fucking massive. He's so unbelievably massive. If he was around in '93, Vince McMahon would be
He'd have
literally
been the Ludwig
cleaning
Borg.
jail toilets because they would have sent him to jail. There ain't no way in beating that. He is a steroid. Look at the stats of him. Turn round, son.
Brackus.
I like the fact though, if you ask German fans, they show you Brackus, and then they show you Otto.
Yeah,
Which one of these is the biggest superstar?
One of these is a superstar in
The other
Germany.
one's Brackus.
You're a strange country, Germany.
Yeah. JR and Lawler go over the rules again in case you weren't watching last week. The crowd do seem a little bit less annoyed. I think they're sort of like
Well, there's
accepting
a
their
bracket.
fate.
I don't know whether it's like some weeks you all of a sudden hear people cheering, and I'm pretty sure those are the taped weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The graphics changed a little as well. Brackus gets in tight and he's absolutely peppered by Savio.
Yeah.
Gets three
knackered
massive
already.
rights. He's well and truly saved by the bell. It does get the first pop, I think, because I think they think he's about to get knocked out. Brackus tries to take down, but he's so big and just fails. Savio is way more coordinated because Brackus just stumbles forward and he punches him on the nose. And he ends the round with a big, fat, bulbous, dripping nose. Nothing has looked sadder
Poor bloke.
than that darkly lit view of Brackus trying to stare out Savio with a pathetically broken nose. Just so sad.
Oh, what a poor man.
Savio immediately takes him down. A left hand knocks down Brackus and he gets the first standing 8 count. And well, Savio has won. Like, obviously.
Don't
has
even
won.
consult the judges.
I can't.
Poor bloke. I mean, this kills him.
Yeah, it really does, because all he's got is that he's big. The moment you take any mistake, and he does strike me as a very macho, tough man in the back.
Big man.
They just said, just go out there, will you?
Just go out fat.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're not making him crash. They're trying to make him baby face.
Yeah,
It's Brackus.
it's Brackus. I mean, look at him, he looks like a heel.
How am I now going to believe that next week he will job out to Savio? Like,
Well, exactly, in theory, Savio would be the kind of person you would feed
I was
to
looking at,
Brackus.
like, what did Mero do this week? And he's just out in his boxing gear doing all his stuff with Sabre. I'm like, what?
What's going on?
Battered language.
Yeah, you just literally got taken down 100
They're
times.
Him and Blackburn have a wrestling match.
Yeah, Droz v Hawk. We haven't got to the point where they're feuding yet, have we?
Not quite.
No, but we're on that way.
Oh dear.
Yeah, don't worry, Hawk. There's worse to come for you. Hawk is on the front foot. He just swings.
Hawk's paint up
Literally just
again.
keeps doing
This
this.
piece of piss out.
He has painted
He
up.
paints up. It's like Animal when he painted up and
Yeah.
listen to Adam on Kills for
Yeah, Jesus, that's
Why?
right.
Why
Yeah.
don't you just leave your face? We know what it looks like.
Good point.
Has he got a match later or something?
Droz is backed up. Hawk's mouthpiece. He don't want to keep that mouthpiece in, does he, Hawk? Because keep pushing it out.
I think they do just spit him out, don't they?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Hawk is taken down on the bell. So he's sort of even. Droz catches Hawk with the right hand in the second round. Hawk then hits one, but he's staggered right backwards on the second shot. He does show on the replay as well between how strong the second shot was. I mean, he literally sends him halfway across the ring. The third, Hawk is desperately in need of a bag of blow because he's fucked at this point. Hawk stands up and his mouthpiece drops out, so Droz goes, all right then.
That gets a tiny pop.
It
though,
does,
where
yeah.
both sort of spit him out and go, come on then.
Which
It's like the drunk thing, eh? Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
then. It's
yeah.
all the hockey fight.
and then they just swing, but neither of them are
Oh,
coordinated
yeah, I
enough
love that
to
because
it.
they do the spit and everybody's on foot and then nothing. Then
Bell.
draw.
Draw? So are they both out? Or what? Because
that's
I
all
think
they
what
do.
happens is Droz goes through based on Hawk being injured, but like,
Draw.
what is the
Animal
point?
Animal should have come
Maybe they just thought Droz has won, but
We
it's Hawk.
can't say that Hawk hasn't won.
Yeah,
It's Hawk.
because it's
Hawk has had a career out of being a badass. If he loses,
He doesn't sell a pile driver, he can't then lose to Droz.
Yeah.
You like the fact he tried to raise Droz's arm, but then he realised I've got boxing gloves,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
can't do it.
Hug there.
Yeah.
Racked. The 13th of July, and not only are they stupid, this is a stupid concept. they've just decided to have 2 tag team partners fight each other within the thing as well. Because it's Bart Gunn versus Bob Holly.
At least it was this team, though.
Yeah. This is the...
Plus,
it could have been Armageddon.
Bob Holly's just wondered out his underpants.
Bob Holly.
Yeah,
Bob Holly.
Shorts. He's like, I've got my pants on. How about you give me the belt and beat everybody?
That's in his big blue underpants. He's come downstairs in the middle of the night to get a glass of pop. And his hair. He's got the thinnest wispy balding hair.
Long hair I've ever seen.
So bald.
Get rid of it, man.
You're so bald, Bob.
He's in a bad place.
Speaking of bad place, Shawn Michaels is on commentary.
Oh dear.
So, first round.
I like the fact they announced that cornet just went, fuck it, I ain't managing him now. Because I took this fight. No, she just went, this makes no sense. No, I'm gone.
The first bit of kayfabe with the sort of shove, I thought that was at least a little bit of storyline.
Yeah.
Bob gets a jab in early, the crowd boo, but Bart just swings and uppercuts constantly with ease. Every time he comes near him, he just hits him with an uppercut. And it's so obvious that Bart Gunn is better than everyone else. It's like, every time anyone gets near him, he just does that. He's just doing the boxing.
His left hand. At this point, they must have in the back been going, oh no.
That's what I mean. At this point, you haven't seen Dan in a bit.
Or Doc,
but you would be thinking, that man's going to win it. He's obviously going to win it. You know that now.
These others protect themselves. They just fight like drunk. This man can fight.
He's so levels above in the second round. He
was a smoking gun.
At one point, he lets Bob Holly punch him in the body a few times and then pops him in the chin.
I love that. But he's just standing there getting the body shot.
Just does this, and then he just goes, puff! Right in his face.
Like, my word, this man is a hard man.
I think Bob Holly says in his book about, like, Bart Gunn going through and knocking them all out, but Bob Holly's the only one that couldn't knock.
But he was a round away from being knocked out.
3 minutes, Bob?
Yeah, I mean,
but he's basically put himself over saying, he's the toughest bloke to fought and he couldn't knock me out.
Bart Gunn literally would have knocked Bob Holly out if they'd have gone another 40 seconds. He needs a KO and nearly walks into a KO. So Bob Holly, let's say he needs a KO, he walks out, gets immediately punched in the face, and then there's nothing else but boos. But he wins it easy. He does win it easy. And at this point, I know we know the result, but we know the result.
It's like 10 men and there's one who can fight.
Yeah, exactly. Next men, it's Godfather versus Dan Severn, which you can actually check out on our Dan Severn episode.
Did we have watched this?
Oh, we actually did.
My word.
They've even dropped the ring walks. They don't do the ring walks on this one, they just did. Severn tries to take down. I mean, this is a terrible match. Like, even for a brawl for all,
no,
it's bad. Dan Severn tries to take down, and whenever they sort of kind of get the takedown, neither of them want to let go.
Yeah,
and they can't do that with a minute.
Well, that's the problem. It's like UFC where it's 3 or 4 minute round. It's a minute.
Yeah.
And by the time he gets up, the bell's ring. So for God's sake, do something.
I mean, Godfather isn't giving it to Dan easy, and every time he gets near him, he just pops him but Dan just can take people down, so he just takes Godfather down. The ref warns him, the crowd boo. I mean, unofficially,
we want wrestling chance.
Yeah, unofficially, they've got Godfather in front. I'd probably say he's probably slightly in front because he's so uncoordinated. Nothing else happens, and Dan Severn is announced as the winner.
Dan Severn.
Now, we don't see Dan again. It's not Dan's style of fighting, in fairness to him. And I don't doubt that Dan Severn, a legitimate UFC champion, would have probably gone deep in a fighting tournament. But he lost that fight.
No, I've read his book, Dan, because you bought it there, and he talks about the Brawl, and it says about the gloves and the restriction to where he just had to keep taking people down.
Yeah.
And he believes that he would have just won it, obviously.
Yeah.
And there is some logic to the fact that he would have just took people down, like Steve Blackman.
Yeah.
But I agree that Godfather won that fight.
He did.
Because he tried to take Godfather, and Godfather's a big man.
Yeah,
He just kept sprawling and stopping him from taking him down.
Yeah.
And then when he did, I just lay on him for all
it was such a... This was
It
really
was
bad.
really
Fight.
bad.
This was really bad.
This is the problem with real fighting, mixed martial arts, real fighting, and
Because some of it descends
because some of
into-
it, if you ain't into it, some of it is so boring to do because it is just lying on a mat in a cage or a ring.
But a lot of the
trying to
reason,
get
but a
something.
lot of the reason professional wrestling exists, or choreographed fighting exists, is for that very reason.
Well,
Because fights are fucking boring.
Yeah, wrestling in the 50s and Luther's, a lot of it is lying on the mat and doing
exactly.
an hold and that.
So you get away from that, and this is in the middle of the Crash TV era as well, and you're watching two men roll around on a mat uncomfortably for a minute and a half.
Austin's going to fill a Corvette.
What
is this program? Mentally. It's bad at wrestling.
It really is.
It's crazy.
Now, am I right in saying Steve Williams' debuts here?
I think that's what they're saying.
Yes, his debut.
Thought this could be his
I
debut.
thought he must have been in.
he'd appeared in the WWE.
Had JR not done the mad?
No, that's the
table
following
thing?
year.
Oh, is that 99?
Yeah. But he has his Bell's Balls here, Tech.
Bell Balls.
Bell's Balls.
And we have also, by the way, lost Danny Hodge, who's decided I'm going to just get to the outside.
Oh, I thought you meant Tom.
No.
Jack Down will do it.
Yeah, so Jack Dowan does the rest of it. He does do it better than Danny Hodge, to be fair, because
He's a proper ref.
Yeah. So on the July 20th episode, we've got we're still in the first fucking round here. Two more matches, don't worry. We've got Steve Williams versus legitimately blind in one eye Pierre. What the fuck are you doing?
Jacques
PCO.
The commentary in this one is really weird. It's definitely piped
Yeah,
in.
it's
a
filmed
taped one.
Yeah,
because it's like it's so much louder than
Yeah.
the actual audience.
It's
If we
strange.
talk loud, people won't notice.
They also give Doc the build. So for the first time in this tournament, it feels like it's designed around a winner. Barry Switzer, who JR will mention many a time in Steve Williams'
When I
match.
saw that interview, I thought, I could tell this was meant to be.
Oh, yeah, he basically said he's a tough bastard, he is.
You'll have to kill him.
He'll have to kill him.
Well, you wait.
You will.
No, you won't. Just rip his arse in his hamstrings.
Yeah, give it a
That's
week.
it.
Give it a week, he's dead. Round one, Doc takes down Pierre with ease. It does become a little bit of a slugfest with both of them sort of trying to hit each other, and so much so that they just bump heads at one point. They just, both of them go for a tackle and bump heads with each other. Pierre does get a late takedown on him. JR does put Doc's amateur background over as Doc takes down Pierre. Doc then rushes Pierre with a punch and gets a standing 8. And at this point, I think Pierre's gone,
Pierre just starts turning round.
yeah, it's just like, I can't be bothered with this. There's a big swing early on. Pierre looks in trouble. Now he looks shattered. He gets peppered again. So Pierre just turns around, stands in the corner. Ref gives him a standing 8. He can't be arsed to get back into it. Quite rightly so. He called
Where's
off.
Jacques?
I mean, he's got Dynamite Kid. It's just bad, isn't it? I feel it's really bad when you think Pierre's got one fucking eye and he's going up against a legitimate fighter. Like,
Why the fuck did you enter it?
well, I know why. He's £25,000 richer at the moment. That's probably
That
why.
to death. It's like, why don't you just have him, just
Well,
beat somebody in a match?
yeah.
Why is he going to legitimately fight Pierre?
Well, the thing is, after round one, they have the scorecard as level. So, like, the first minute in
You can't
the...
beat Pierre.
You can't
He
beat
beat
Pierre.
Armageddon last week.
Like, I ain't being funny, but like, there's levels. And Steve Williams debuting him in this way, especially because he's shoot. He's got to win.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
There's only one man in
Can you
this tournament
imagine
there
if
that has to
Pierre
win. It
and
has to
Lando
be
him out?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Pierre and just
That's what I mean. It could have.
gone.
Well, that's it. That's how much confidence they had. It could have been debut, bang, done. Like,
Pierre.
imagine if they'd have debuted him against Bart Gunn.
How can we make
What
sure he gets
Pierre
through at least? How can we make sure he gets through at least one round? Oh no, let's put him in with the bloke who's got one eye
It's just weird as well with
or blind in one eye.
if you analysed it just as a legitimate, okay, this is the tournament and we've seen the first round, there's one match we see highlights of. But of the 8 winners, Why would you pair the man that you want to win versus the one who is obviously...
And we aced the brackets as well.
Strong, and no one's seen it.
So you could easily get to the... And you could probably have said to Bart on the finals night, we want Steve to
we'll give you an extra 30.
Just fucking throw it, like, you know.
Yeah. I'll tell you what we'll do. Because it's a wrestling company, we'll script it.
We saw the first round. We can...
Do without it.
We can do without it. Let's carry on the concept. Look, let's
We've
work.
lost brackets.
Yeah, we've got rid of brackets now.
And Bob Ollie, we had that Bob.
So, the last match is Scorpio versus 8 Ball. So crap, they cut it. So they show us...
How do we know it was cut?
Well, we don't... Well, that's true.
I love that.
They should
walk on.
They should have done a switch.
I am.
Between rounds, it should have been.
Eight
Ball wins the first round because of punches, the dual takedowns in the second, and Scorpio wins the third, and somehow Scorpio wins. So
did he have his knife?
Yeah, well,
Probably why he won.
I mean, when they're cutting out matches, what is the point?
How bad was he?
You don't have to do this. Like, if this was one of those things where they started it and ended it, no one talked about it again.
Just forgot about it.
No one would have cared.
Yeah, but he got... Yeah, we
can live with that.
Rebook it going, oh, what could have been? Where would this have gone?
Well, we've got to rebook it later, and it's a really hard thing to rebook because all you think is, I wouldn't have booked this ever.
No.
I've changed it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a King of the Ring in yours. 27th of July, we're on to round 2, and it's Bart Gunn versus Steve Williams. I see trouble up ahead.
Trouble.
We see some highlights from the previous matches. We go into round 1. Doc takes down Bart early on, and it looks quite good as he lays in a few jabs after round 1. I'd say, yeah, probably won it. Bart's smiling all the way through this, by the way. But round 2 is full of nothing. But Bart does take down Doc, and I think the top takedown might have hurt him.
Yeah,
because he doesn't look the same. Round 3, the hook up, there's boring chance. Bart gets a takedown, and it looks like his base is completely gone now because he's fucked. So, Bart, seeing this, just pelts him with a left hook to his face, and he completely cripples him. I mean, he just flops. The poor man sees his career in WWE end in 1 week. He spent years becoming a monster in Japan and WCW. He's got a legitimate fight. And within a week, Vince has had him and he's killed the ball.
He's lost to a smoking gun. And not even the main one. He's lost to a smoking gun.
Not even the famous gun.
You can almost, you know that scene in The Simpsons, you can almost hear the break of JR's heart.
Yeah, this man was bombastic 3 weeks ago.
Was he bombastic or was he bodacious?
Was he bodacious, Bob?
I don't know, I can never remember which way
was
I read.
Bombastic,
Bodacious.
Bodacious?
Fucking hell.
What does bodacious mean?
I don't know, I think that's sexy.
Rowan Atkinson would love to have said those names, though, with his bees. Bombastic bomb.
Oh, he should have been the ringer there.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the most famous match in the Brawl, I would say. Yeah. Obviously, it's about to become the main thread of our story, of our art, but yeah, it's definitely the most famous, and you just feel for Doc because he's never gonna lose. He's never gonna overcome.
It's a Stone Cold or The Undertaker or Kane who's knocked him out. It's Bart Gunn.
It'll always That's the problem for all of them.
Yeah.
Luckily for the ones that come after, this has happened, so they won't be as pathetic as Doc. But so Doc takes all the heat for this because it's obvious, so obvious he's going to win. It's just so obvious he's going to win.
He's going to be in there. Everybody else has pulled him to take him.
Well, we move forward 1 week. There is no second match on that show, and it's Godfather versus Scorpio. So, Godfather is still here because Dan Severn went, I ain't doing it no more.
Yeah,
apparently.
Nothing to prove.
I mean, I get the impression they might have suggested, don't do it because you're not going to win it. And if you don't win it, it ain't going to help you.
Yeah.
But he suggests that he had nothing to prove, and that's the reason why he...
Do you want a tattoo 666 on your head?
Yeah. The very least, they have added the kayfabe hoe segment of offering the hose to the opposition.
Well, I've got nothing to prove, and then I've never wrestling matches. What are you proving in them then?
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm losing to Rock. And
now I'm doing the scripted.
Shamrock said he would have done it, he wanted to do it, but then he was told he couldn't enter it. But he was saying, obviously, he'd rather have had, like, training as well. You could just then throw these people into shoot fights. They've got to train for a bit.
Ken Shamrock would have just tapped them all out in the inside 20 seconds.
I don't know, even with boxing gloves.
Well, maybe not with boxing gloves, but I mean, again, this whole thing is weird. Like, it's not, they've created a sport. It's not mixed martial arts. It's not fighting. It's not wrestling. It's
Why
not
do you put boxing gloves on?
It's just very, very strange.
Just say, just punch the fuck out of each other because there's a bare knuckle fighting thing there, ain't there?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think they'd want that because they'd legitimately be coming out of it. But they could have just done the UFC gloves.
Got legitimately hurt anyway.
Well, if you get bare knuckle, they always say bare knuckle was safer than boxing for your head because you hurt your hand punching the head, so you always get more body shots.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I just think don't do it as a legitimate shoot fight.
Well, yeah,
just don't do it.
Scripted show from 50 years at this point or whatever. Why don't you just carry on doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, you had Dream Team do a shoot for 4 match, did you?
Kane should have entered it. I just wish that Kane I'm going in it. And give it up with the
There's not one boxing glove on the one. I can't show
proper character in.
Nah, they should have done it, and he should have been shoot as well. So he should have come out as Glenn Jacob with his half-shaved head.
Where the hell did I don't know this guy?
Kane's going by his legal name.
Shoot name.
Why war animal in it?
Well, why weren't Skull in it?
I like that Skull.
What's it off of these? It's like
Not for me.
It's like more SmackDown Jurassic. It's just
off. Saw 8 Ball coming back of him. You idiot.
I told you.
They probably just got paid the same anyway, so when he earned that extra 25 grand. So, Scorpio versus Godfather. Godfather offers Scorpio's the hose. I'm telling you, if it was a shoot, he'd have took it.
Oh, he would have. If you throw in a bag of weed, I'm
bag of weed.
Funk! Godfather rocks Scorpio with right hands, and the first round ends with Scorpio in the corner getting peppered. Big shots in the second by Godfather, who has cornered Scorpio again. And round 3, Scorpio tries but fails to take down Godfather, who gets the takedown instead. And there is loads of boring and booze. Godfather wins.
Yeah. He walked quite
nation.
So we have seen the beginning and the end of the Godfather and Paul Buchanan.
Right, the week after, Droz versus Savio.
Droz is getting over it.
Droz is there because I think Hawk was injured. I don't know whether they really explained how he advanced, but Droz is there anyway.
Is he going to throw up on him?
Savio goes to the takedown, but it's a trip or another slip. There is one random fan that right on the bell. Did you hear it?
Yeah, the
cheer.
Yeah.
Right on the bell, he just goes, yeah!
Yeah!
Is it the Tony Camille?
It is like deathly quiet.
Deathly quiet.
Yeah!
Loved it.
What a round!
I must have missed
the one Brawl for all man. Round 2.
Is it Russo? Because he with the crowd.
Probably was.
Brilliant.
Probably was. Round 2, big hooks by Droz, takedown. Does get a pop, to be honest. Nothing else happens. And round 3, Droz gets another takedown. There's a big hook. He may go down. He doesn't.
Big hook.
And there's a big hook after the bell as well. I think Savio's a heel as well at this point. So again, like, what the fuck is going on? But
broken case,
it was a little bit better, that match, in that it felt like it was building slowly to something.
I think people, like Sam said, Droz does feel like he's
getting over. He's not one of the people.
Droz, you go to the top, mate.
People like Droz. Yeah.
Oh, he's back. It's
no.
It's bloody Bradshaw going up against Mark Merrow.
Hang on, put you out.
Yeah, Mark Merrow, who absolutely got battered in the first match, is back because Steve Blackman is injured. Bradshaw just looks like a fucking intimidating bastard. Properly staring, horrible bastard. Round 1. JR calls Bradshaw the Brahma Bull, which I didn't hear.
Put the rock. I'm going to take that.
I said to JR to say that.
Bradshaw is given the takedown as they drop, and round 2. Bradshaw is given another takedown, and there's boos. Crowd is so fed up.
When you can hear Mark Merrow get really pissed off.
Yeah, the takedown.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Bradshaw drags Merrow down in the 3rd round. Merrow lays in shots. There's boos. Merrow thinks he's won. It's a draw. And instead of it being a draw like in the previous draw, there's another round now. Bradshaw has his nose bust, but he takes down Merrow. And based on the logic, Merrow gets 5 points and he gets a takedown. I think that happens in every round. But this round, they just give it to Bradshaw. It's
Bradshaw's won.
Bradshaw's won. So crap.
Just crap, eh?
So
Paul
crap.
Merrow as well. I mean, he's gimmick. He's a boxer and he's lost 2 boxing matches. But it's like, he's fighting Bradshaw, who's like 100 pound heavy.
You wouldn't fight him in a boxing match, would you?
In
That's
real
the point.
life. Manny Pacquiao wouldn't fight Tyson Fury.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Beat the piss out of him because of the size.
It's
Maybe
just-
not Fury. I could have used a lesser heavyweight.
No, but I get
Yeah, but
It's
yeah,
all-
that's why they've got.
But that's why there's weight classes.
Yeah.
But Mark Merrow is a legitimate boxer who's a heel, coming off like a sympathetic babyface in this tournament, and next week he's going to have to slam Sable or
Yeah.
something.
And the thing is,
The Bradshaw is a babyface. He's
Well,
a black chick.
and he looks so heel. He looks so heel. But the thing is, if it was, where this came from, that if it was real, if this was a boxing match, Merrow would have killed him.
Yeah,
Like,
they can't take him there.
because every single point in that went to Merrow for punches. If he didn't have the point,
Bradshaw after this.
did he?
Yeah, something like that. It's that weird
Punch
punch
where he just let Vader potato him.
Yeah,
Jesus
something like
Christ.
that.
I mean, Vader war in this.
I just feel sorry for Merrow out of this because he's a legitimate. His gimmick is he's a boxer and he's
Yeah.
just.
Yeah,
lost
yeah,
the
yeah.
But again, in a boxing match, you can't take down.
No,
so that's
no,
why
but-
you've got to.
He's lost twice.
Yeah.
That's true. We'll put you back in, you lose again.
Raw the 17th of August now. We're into August, and it's Bart Gunn versus The Godfather. Godfather's not offering Bart his hose, he's just decided he's going to kick his ass.
Did you hear the fucking Bill Clinton nonsense?
On the phone.
No, I don't
Yeah,
on the
JR
entrance, on the phone.
called the Bill Clinton impersonator about it, and he was going on about he wanted the hose.
Oh,
That was one I was.
I must
It's
say,
about how it was
Clinton,
Monica Lewinsky.
What I did say.
And he just, unless they cut you off the network, because I was watching
No,
this
it's on the
YouTube.
network.
Oh, it's on the
Yeah,
network.
yeah, on the entrance.
Because I watched a YouTube rip of all this.
Lawler's
bollocks.
obviously trying to get it over, and JR's a bit like, what the
Yeah,
fuck we doing?
but they don't even talk to him during the match. It's like,
I don't even
during the match, and I don't think they go back to Clinton.
That's beautiful.
Terrible.
So, round 1, they size each other up with Godfather laying in a big shot after a flurry from Bart. And much the same as the others, you just feel like it's a case of, he's going to get you.
Yeah, well, I'm on it.
Yeah. Godfather backs up Bart. He lays in a shot in the corner. He's backed up and he is peppered with a shot.
With a wobble.
Oh, and his legs are gone. I mean, if it was a 3-minute boxing round, he would have laughed in a second. He's staggered and right on the bell. He's knocked down, so he doesn't get the knockdown. Round 3. He comes out, but he ain't the same Godfather that started that round 2. He struggles.
You want the hose?
Take them all.
He just walks out, and Mark Gunn just goes boop with his left, and he completely KOs him. I mean, you see a shot of Godfather, and he's in a different world, like he's so glazed. And it does pop the crowd. It really isn't.
Roll the fair.
I know that. Someone should have put the blood in there.
I'll show you that. Come on.
Godfather Mayweather is a legitimately tough man. There's no doubting he is a big man. But again,
I mean, he ain't 6'8", like I keep saying, but he's a big.
Yeah, but again,
not far off, I would say.
Not even in the same sport as Mark Gunn. It's just so evident who he's going to win.
Big he bought. You realise
he's so hench. Like he's such a strong man. He is though. He's got massive fucking arms. Like he's such a big bloke. Yeah. Jaws and Bradshaw gets the tail of the tape. The background for.
My God, this Taylor. Did you read the Taylor?
I read the Taylor.
Did you read the career highlight or the highlights or like this?
It says background. Their background. Yeah.
You read it.
Puking.
Fucking brilliant. Everybody else has got boxing and all. Puking. He's from what's such a bad thing.
He's gonna puke.
That was his game because he couldn't do it on demand.
Yeah, but he was puking. I think he was debuted.
Lawler was saying he's going to throw up. He's a puke during the match.
But he couldn't done his interview with it.
That's the thing with a puke. Like, did he ever do it?
I
think he might have done once.
I can't ever remember him throwing up.
I think even on Beyond the Mat, even in that scene he couldn't do it.
Yeah, because it's a favourite
over the top.
He's got a puke.
And then it was, he failed at it, but we'll do it anyway.
Here's a contract.
You got animal, you got hawk, you got puke.
Oh dear.
What a man.
So, round one, it's Droz versus Bradshaw. Round one, really unpretty. Again, haymakers, running into each other, not getting the distancing right. Bradshaw does rock Droz in the first round. Round two, Droz gets the crowd off the feet with a big hook, and it's the first time Bradshaw's looked a little bit in trouble. Goes to the takedown, and he's given one on the bell. And then round three, he does keep going for the leg. Yeah, Droz lands a punch. The bell sounds. They give it Bradshaw.
Well, that's not. I was certain. I thought Droz won that.
Well, he obviously won the second round.
He got a takedown, did he? In the third and all.
In the third, he went for the leg. He went for the leg, but he definitely landed the most punches as well. So I don't know how they've ended up with Bradshaw. I think they probably thought, well, Bradshaw's got slightly better chance of winning it than Droz.
He's such an arse as well. Droz has hugged everyone.
Yeah,
he just buggers
off and leaves him. Yeah. Don't be nasty to Droz.
We
love Droz. He's a nice man.
He is.
Droz got over from this.
He did.
The only one who survived.
He did, and then he pushed his walk off the Titantron in a couple of months.
He was paralysed in a year.
Yeah, I think Droz could have been a good babyface though, because he does seem to have some.
Lower mid.
He's just likeable, but he's randomly doing Droz's World things I've seen on the shows. There's Droz World promos. You've seen them before, have you?
I think so. That was little off of what the real world.
Yeah, the real world. Droz's World.
Fucking reality show.
I've got those piercings and that puke.
Well done.
Has he already done the stuff with pushing Hawk off the Titantron then? Or is that going on in the background? So he's got like 4 stories. I think he's still in it.
It's about the summertime.
He teams with Animal in December at Capital Carnage against the Headbangers.
Must be later, because this is
June, August. Yeah, well, the SummerSlam happens the week before this.
Week,
You know, Highway to Will.
So, it's the 24th of August, the final, and it's Bart Gunn versus Bradshaw. Shawn Michaels is there for the commentary.
Why is he Mr. Brawl for all?
Because he's so off his head, he can enjoy it.
Bradshaw tries, but I think by the end of it fails to look intimidating.
I forgot to leave notes on
because I think, well, don't worry, I think
I know what happened.
Bradshaw knows I ain't going to win this one.
Well, Bart just stares at him without moving, and Bradshaw's moving a bit.
Yeah.
And I think he realises, going to get me head knocked off.
Yeah. So,
can you imagine if Bradshaw won and Russo went up to him?
We've got it over.
Well done, Vince.
Yeah.
You've proven
what he could have done was just had him lose a match in a scripted set.
Yeah.
But now, you moron.
You fool.
So Bradshaw immediately staggers in, swings and he's caught with the big right and left to his temple. That one shot, though, is brilliant because it just destroys his moto skills for a second. Because he sort of glances in, but he catches him so tough that he just sort of wobbles, turns into a proper fish and drops. He manages somehow to beat the 8. I don't think he would have stayed up in a boxing
Why is he
match.
an 8?
But they always
Well,
give you a
yeah,
standing 8 in boxing.
Oh.
But in boxing, they would have gone, your legs have gone here,
gone.
mate. You are gone. Because he literally then just goes right, left combo, and he knocks this face completely off.
And that was my thing.
Yeah,
just
like,
like him.
that's showing. And poor Bart, because we know how this is going to end.
Yeah.
But when they show you the knockout, like, his jaw is behind him, like, it's such a vicious knockout, and it's definitely one I think Bart Gunn probably enjoyed.
Yeah,
But it's the best fight by a mile because it's over in a minute or two, and it really does what the fans wanted it to do, which is someone comes and gets their head caved in, and that'll do. That'll do.
That'll do. That'll do, Gordon. That'll do.
Yeah, I mean, overall...
You're really asking us this question. Fight of the night.
Oh, just I mean,
daft.
It does feel sad that they didn't go right. Bart Gunn's on every week, and he's knocking the lower end cards out. Just get him to knock them
Happy
out.
was a wrestler. That's his finish.
But what they did is they packaged him up and sent him to Japan. Like what?
Japan loved him because obviously he beat up to death.
Yeah. So he's always gonna stand
Michael Bart. What a name!
I can't believe
This is
he didn't. I know. I
ain't gonna put him against Austin.
I'm not expecting him to get anything other than just build it up to a point where someone knocks him out in a kayfabe setting, and then at least you're done with him. But get something from
Hardcore
it.
title, it's perfect for it, whatever.
Absolutely, like
that hadn't debuted yet, had it? Spoiler.
I don't know what Mankind was.
But
he was before Survivor Series.
But even then, you could have had like a knockout championship. You could have done anything. You could have just have him. There's so much dross on this card as well. Look, it's Tank's still probably employed. Get Tank out. Whack him.
I couldn't have had Tank in this time.
I want to see him now.
Where was Ball?
I don't know.
Oh, Kurgan.
It just didn't. Draws is the only one who comes out looking like
John and Bart and the only two.
Bart's obviously. Bart's probably the most insignificant man in the tournament at the start.
Oh,
maybe Pierre.
If they'd have ordered it in the order of people they wanted to win, Bart would have been, and I'm really would have been bottom beyond brackets.
I don't know about Pierre though.
Maybe Pierre. He would have been.
Pierre would have been probably the lowest. Maybe Mark Cantor.
He's got an eye patch.
I know, but.
That's a story though. He's a one-eyed man who takes down everyone. And I loved it.
Mark Canterbury,
maybe Canterbury would be
Takers, mate.
Well, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, Taker and 8 Ball. I mean, one twin.
And the WWE are doing it now.
Yeah, but I mean, these two, we couldn't.
Main event, you can't tell who there was.
You lay having Yeet from 8 Ball.
Main event 8 Ball.
Main event Ball.
But Bart, I mean, it's just so sad that they never did anything.
Yeah, well, we'll see now because next match is in February 1999. So 6 months forward.
Do you remember that tournament, John?
So the week before this, Bob Holly he's won his hardcore title. He cuts a promo shitting on the crap gimmicks and the crap tag team partners that he's had. And he issues a challenge to anyone out there. Bart Gunn just wanders out, no pop, and goes, "Oi, you're talking about me?" And Bob Holly suggests that he was never knocked out by Bart Gunn. So they are doing that angle.
Yeah.
So next week, Bob versus Bart. Be there.
You had done this 6 months ago.
I think it's the 24th. It's actually shown, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, it's a different date.
Of February.
It's filmed on the 22nd.
Bart Gunn has got the Brawl for All theme. So
you have won the theme.
We start this match. It's a wrestling match, thank God. There's big rights and lefts, and Bob drops on the outside. He smashes a beer or some sort of beverage into the face. Of Bart. There's big chair shots used by Bob and Bart, and then another glass mug is used, this time into Holly. The bell's used by Bart and we spell into the crowd. Bart drops Holly on the railings, and then there's fire extinguisher, which, because it's 1999 Raw, is there for the Inferno match that's going to be happening on the show later on. Jesus!
What a show.
Bart is sent into the steps. We're also calling Bob Hardcore Holly. That actually happened, I think, on this show, because they're calling him Bob Holly on the previous show. Bart Gunn suplexes Hardcore onto the steel ramp. DDT by Bart, who now uses the extinguisher himself. Now, we go to the top of the stage. We don't quite understand what happens in hardcore matches because he just now uses a watermelon randomly. And then there's an absolutely giant pole, massive pole that he smashes over the back. But not to be outdone, there's a big crowd of bananas.
Donkey Kong's back there. What's Donkey Kong doing back behind there?
Oh, no. He's smashed over the head of Gunn, though. That's the thing. It makes him look pathetic.
Yeah, they've got the baby face popped for Bart. The fruit. Fruit is over, it's baby face.
Big trash cans used by both men. Then a big sack of flour.
Just cooking back there.
There's a big bag of cops on the WCW.
Watch in WCW, I think in your run, you see Brian Knobs v Norman Smiley and they end up fighting on a big bag of bread. I thought it was like that one at the town hall that we saw.
Oh, brilliant.
No, he nicked the These was fighting on bread.
Oh dear. A guy now in a big red kimono and a racist Japanese mask.
This Dr. Death looking man.
Strangely Dr. Death shaped. Attacks Bart Gunn. He tosses him off the stage and he's really bad as
There's
well.
a bloke sitting at the table that he goes through and they just walk.
Yeah.
He just goes, come on, we got to do this spot.
Yeah. And Holly covers Bart, and Bart's big return is to lose in a hardcore title match.
Hooray.
Now, I don't know whether at this point they've booked Butterbean, and I think maybe they're setting up Bart Gunn versus Doc at Mania. I'm being kind. But that is the legitimately last time we see the kimono Dr. Death.
You're going to build Dr. Death v Bart. Have Dr. Death attack white kimono, man.
Well, I don't
understand.
Why are we doing the mystery angle on this? Like, we know it's going to be Doc. Like,
who else has got beef with Bart Gunn? It's going to be Billy.
It could be Godfather. Like, he was...
Bradshaw. I mean... And the Inferno match. I'm going to give out about the Inferno match. Taker fights Bossman, doesn't he, at this Mania?
Yes. Yeah.
Why the bloody hell are them two fighting then?
No idea.
Is
he not punishing Kane?
Kane fights Triple H.
Isn't Vince pushed... Oh, no, Kane's like heel, isn't he?
What the hell is going on? It's because Vince is trying to get Kane to help him against Taker.
Yeah.
And now that when he burns his foot, that's the finish. Kane goes to boot him and he just pushes his foot on.
Yeah, that's right.
And he burns the bear, Dowie, as well.
That's
the bear show. That's the bear one.
Yeah,
because in our archive for the Howard Power.
A lot happened.
I agree with Ben, and I was explaining this to Scott. 1999, fucking overrated. Showing Bart Gunn v Bob Holly.
Yeah, I mean, this show's mad. This match is pretty awful as a hardcore match. It's full of nonsensical things. And really, it does highlight that Bart Gunn's got no real charisma. I mean, when he does
things... I think it highlights the deficiency of both. Yeah. They can't structure an interesting match. They just have to hit people with comedy weapons.
Yeah.
You used a melon.
That's the difference you're seeing between some of the hardcore that was happening in ECW and some of the hardcore that happened in WWF. Is that WWF just thought it was just weapons. There is got to be some logic behind it. It did become very much like anyone can do an hardcore match.
So just through. Anybody who's got nothing to do
Pete fucking Gas is doing hardcore matches here.
Bosh. Billy Gunn. Fucking hardcore champion. Triple threat. Which ain't even his story. He's in the feud for the IC.
But, any hope that we had that maybe he's gone away to come back to a big storyline is immediately dead.
Yeah. Just killed him. We know. He was already dead anyway, because I ain't seen him for 6 months.
Yeah.
But now we've
disinterested.
We've hired a bean. We've just made sure he's dead. We've hired a bean.
Well, if you want to make sure he is dead, then what you do is you put him into a match with a legitimate boxer at WrestleMania 15.
He wore like a proper
proper boxer who was sort of like a sub one where he done so many rounds. Like a T20 cricket.
Yeah, a lot of his fights were at the super heavyweight thing, which meant it was never regulated. Never regulated, so it went some matches were 6 rounds, some was 10. Most of the time, it was with just weird shaped people. But look, I'm not criticising Butterbean. He was a legitimate boxer.
Yeah,
he could box. Like, there's no doubt about
that.
What a name, the butteriest bean.
He is a Butterbean.
Plus, I saw a show. He's got a show where he's a cop.
Butterbean.
Like, I think he is legitimately there.
He does look a little bit like the guy who gets hanged
in Breaking Bad.
In Breaking Bad. He does look like the cop in Breaking Bad.
I think he looks more like the potato things you got in the Brawl.
He does look a bit like the potatoes from McDonald's as well.
You just need to put the hair and stuff on.
You don't get them anymore. What happened to when did McDonald's decide we're no longer going with the potato thing that they had for
I
a while?
don't get this at all either, this fucking of we'll get a legitimate boxer in, but we'll have a super heavyweight boxer. Just give him a flyweight.
Give him a bloke who's got half a chance.
Give him the middleweight. Somebody who's on his level at least.
Maybe they didn't want a 15-minute boring boxing match on WrestleMania. They wanted him just to get his head.
How can Butterbean isn't going to come and they go, well, it's going to be shoot, and he's going to go right then. Like, he ain't going to come and just lay down. He's a legitimate fighter.
Yeah,
so
he'd already had one boxing match in pay-per-view, hadn't he?
Against Mero.
I think, on In Your House DX.
Yeah, but that was worked for it though, because
in a sense, I think he didn't really last. He was like punching Mero. Went and
stuff.
It was Butterbean. Yeah,
Butterbean. He already had a match. Yeah, he already had a match with Butterbean.
And apparently, after he won this match, he was going backstage saying, "I've got a job." And they was like, "No."
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he thought he got a job after this.
Oh dear. No.
We've seen you on Hulk Hogan Celebrity Championship.
The man you just beat.
It's Bart Gunn.
He won a tournament.
Yeah. So we're in the city where Bart Gunn won the Brawl for All. It's Bart the Hammer Gunn now.
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know.
But it's great. It's great. He should have went.
Surely it should be the machine, shouldn't it? That would make more sense.
The machine gun.
Yeah.
But Greg should have come out and gone, whoa.
Hang on a minute. What's going on here?
He would have
given infringement, brother.
Properly put him into the into a hookup, and then he'd have worked him in the corner for 20 minutes.
I'd love to if he was in the Brawl.
3 minutes. It took him 10 minutes to get out of the corner. Joking.
It took him 20 minutes to warm up, according to Gorilla.
It is Brawl for All rules, and in the Dark Side of the Ring, the thing that Butterbean says is he come out and he immediately tried to box, and he thought, "Well, I'm going to kill you now. Like, I'm obviously going to kill you."
You do know you're going to lose, right?
So we're told Bart Gunn has a deadly left hand. We're told this a second before Butterbean hits him with his left hand, pushing Bart halfway across the ring. There's a big right hand, and Bart is staggered, and then a follow-up punch knocks him down. Now, he should have just stayed there.
He got
a
job in Japan.
I was going to say his head hadn't wobbled at this point.
I've already had the payday, mate. I'm going.
Yeah.
So he gets up, in fairness to Bart. There's a huge right hand, and honestly, I mean, the knockouts Bart had, his face, his head is looking the other way.
He does the comedy, it spins all around. Like it's disgusting.
It's so horrible. I'm not joking. It literally nearly took his head off. And Bart Gunn is just out.
He fucked.
Absolutely. I know.
What would they have done?
The thing is, though, we know nothing.
Exactly. So what was the bloody fight? They would have kept booking him against these boxers until he lost.
Until he fought Tyson or Holyfield.
I honestly think, do you think they tried to get Tyson again for this?
Possibly.
Do you think they would have gone?
Tyson went from Austin and Sean to Bart Gunn.
No, but obviously he's a big enough fan.
Yeah,
he probably would have done it. But he was back in boxing?
Yeah, I think he fought. I think he fights out
in jail.
No, he'd come out of jail. They went to May 14.
I don't want to just say it, but like, what did you expect?
Yeah, what are we gaining from this?
A super heavyweight boxer.
No one was buying Mania to watch it.
No.
I know it's like, people popped, but that's because a man's head spun around.
Yeah, exactly. We know knockouts pop people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no doubt about that.
It did like go 12
But like next up, test and dealer.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Just
I think what did the hell
Four
of the
corners or something like that with the IC. What we do with?
Yeah, just crap. I mean,
got gorilla route.
the only
That was
thing,
the last appearance.
and the last appearance of Bart Gunn, because literally he was.
I know he was in the Battle Royal.
Oh well,
All
yeah.
15.
He has appeared in WWE. Yeah.
They still had the Brawl for All theme.
But it's the only company that seemingly saw any way to make any money out of the Brawl for All was All Japan.
Yes.
Because they went, well, we've got Doc, we'll get Bart, and we'll just spin it into a feud. Well done, Japan. So
You have said.
yeah. So the first match,
Although we will see you in 2006.
the first match took place in January 2000, and Doc just battered Gunn, which is sensible given that the last time he got battered by Bart.
My arse is healed.
And then they did what they normally do in Japan, which is just create a load of random tag teams where you've got. I mean, the tag teams, I'll tell you, was Dr. Death and Mike Rotundo versus Bart Gunn and the great. That bloke. No, it's that bloke who played the other version of Kamala. The great Kimala. Great Kimala and Bart Gunn versus Mike Rotundo and Dr. Death. That was the.
Was the boss?
Yeah. So it's this very strange thing, but they kept crossing paths, and it built to and culminated in a match at the Tokyo Dome in January 2001. I don't think they'd quite started the wrestling.
New Japan, man.
Well, that's New Japan anyway.
Is it? Yeah, of course it is. Now it's all Japan.
They all just have Tokyo Dome shows, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Shows.
So this is their big show at the Tokyo Dome. Steve Williams, who is a huge star in Japan, does get a good reaction. Did you notice who the ref was?
It's Yamaguchi-san,
Yamaguchi-san.
Yamaguchi-san.
That's going on. Join the Brawl as well.
Yes.
I'm going to chop your penis off to draw some Salvio in a fight. So what's going on?
98.
97 was the only good year in the 90s. I'll stand by
I was
it.
amazed when Yamaguchi-san was the ref.
Series of go-behinds, and we get into a strong style chop-off. Bart shoulder tackles down the Doc, and then Barton rushes into a back elbow by Doc, who drops him chin first onto the top turnbuckle. Doc is vicious with his chokes. There's a massive right jab, and we spill to the outside. And that back belly drop on the outside.
Because
their railings are low, aren't they?
It's because the ring's usually raised in Japan.
It's so stiff. It's worse than the fucking butterbean thing. Drops him on his head on the small railing. We do have a cut, and we're back inside. Doc works over the back of Barton. There's a stinger splash and a belly to belly out of the corner by Doc. Bart recovers with an impressive stalling suplex. There's a leg drop by Bart to get a near fall. Bart then goes to Brett's rope and hits an elbow for a 2. Back outside, and Bart hits a sort of diving nothing onto Doc. There's a big spine buster by Doc to slow it, and then he starts with his couple knee tackles for 2. He signals for the stampede, but the ref is bumped. Barton hits a diamond cutter for the visual win, and then he decks it sort of one of the young people around the ring.
I love that Mike Rotundo gets up and just gets hit.
Oh, is it Mike Rotundo?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise it was Mike Rotundo.
And just gets hit.
Brilliant. That's
Why
amazing.
are you IRS in 2001 or whatever it is?
Barton hits a clothesline for a 2. Doc runs into Barton's boots a few times, but crotches him on the top turnbuckle. Big headbutts, top rope belly to belly, gut wrench powerbomb for a 2. Bart springs out of the first belly to back suplex, but then he's hit with one. He's too close to the rope, so they have to repeat the spot.
Do it again, yeah.
And Doc beats Mike Barton to end the feud, and the Brawl for All was really won by Dr. Death in Japan.
There you go, in backwards. We've done it for you.
Now you can feud with Austin. Austin's out. Run over.
Thoughts on that match?
I don't think it was great. I think it shows that I like Bart Gunn, but he's a bit clunky as a
he's very clunky as a wrestler.
He's better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Dr. Death's obviously over. Works a style, very stiff. I'm not faking it. I will drop you on your head on the rail, and you shall accept it.
Correct.
And that will be 2 minutes into a 15-minute match.
Yeah. I'm not to death. I don't protect you.
Yeah. Mike Russo now, God bless him. But, you know, it shows Dr. Death the biggest star. I don't like the fact, I mean, it is their fault, they did it, that they did the suplex and then had to do it again. But, you know, Dr. Death's got more as a character in wrestling than Mike Barton / Bart.
I mean, Mike Barton is at best a strong part of a tag team, the strength of a tag team.
He was teaming with Laurinaitis, wasn't he? That was the team.
Johnny Ace.
Yeah. Oh, over in Japan. Yeah, I mean, he's not terrible, but when you have to do a 20-minute match, he ain't got enough in his arsenal to do it.
He's better in Japan, this sort of bloke, because of he ain't really got a lot of charisma.
No.
When you're like that, you're better off going to a Japan where you don't need it.
And without doubt, he deserved to win the Brawl for All, but that was the worst. I mean, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible idea anyway. But it is bad that he won it, because you can't spin anything really.
Yeah, it's weird, because it's like...
And I'd be surprised if any of us have a shoot, when we rebook it, we have Bart Gunn with it. Yeah.
Well, it's like the best and worst thing that happened to him, and it's the best thing because it made him, and you remember him for it. It was the worst thing because he then just got battered. To be, and the Fed punched him.
So in that sense, I don't blame the Japanese for going, Dr. Death, he's our bloke. Let's get him his win back and let's move him on.
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. It was a typical Japanese match, to be honest.
It was just really nice to watch a match.
Yeah, that's true.
Watch wrestling.
Yeah, after the show we've had, it's a palate cleanser, if nothing else. But there you have it, folks. That's the Brawl for All. Finally done. Checked off our list of worst of wrestling. We don't need to do
blood, here we go.
Ever again. But we do have to decide on Brawl of the Night. Dun 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 dun.
Up Bart Gunn with Bradshaw.
Bart Gunn versus Bradshaw.
Yeah, it's got to be that one.
Worst Brawl.
Dan Severn versus The Godfather.
I'll go with Droz versus Hawk then, because I can't have a draw in it.
I'll go with Savio Brackett. Oh, no.
MVP?
I'll go with Bart.
Yeah, even just looking at the Brawl.
He's got a tournament he was winning.
LVP?
Well, Dan, I mean, he's in it, and then just goes, I don't want to, because I've got to wear gloves or whatever. It's just daft. It just don't help him.
It's
more in it than out of it.
It's Mark Mero, though. I mean,
It does kill his gimmick. But Dan, you just look an even bigger fool to me.
Yeah.
I'll go with the company.
Well, I know that.
Vince Russo.
Such a stupid idea.
Sure.
And so stupid, we decided we're going to rebook it, but we're going to do it in a work style. So, I've got a little bit of storyline to go with it. You've wrote out.
No, I wrote it.
You haven't wrote it.
I've got a tournament and there's little stories within it, and I have changed it slightly.
Well, I'm going to open with you then, Jack, so don't disappear from your head.
I know what it is. Mine is all based around Mark Mero.
Okay, yeah.
Because Mark Mero is the boxer fighter.
Yeah.
And his gimmick will be, I'm the greatest.
I'm the greatest.
I'm the greatest. Where's my shoes? Let me dance. Oh, no, that's the cat. So there will be the boxer fighter. There will be a tournament. And we shall crown the best boxer, the best fighter, whatever. And the final will lead up to Mark Mero versus Droz.
Right.
Yes, Droz is getting.
I love Droz getting a
So Droz is getting to the final. And the final's going to be that Droz will knock Mark Mero down.
Yeah.
The ref shall get distracted by Jacqueline, because Jacqueline's with Mark Mero. And Mero can either slam him or use his stool or whatever. Mero will knock him out. Mero will win the Brawl for All tournament.
Yes.
Officially the best fighter ever. So Mero will then fight Droz again in another Brawl for All sort of style match.
Yeah.
This time...
I think they fight each other at Breakdown anyway, don't they?
See,
in September.
Proper feud, this one.
It worked.
Blood feud. This time, who's going to save Droz?
Sable.
It's got to be Sable, obviously, because Sable's there.
The love story we all wanted.
Yes. So when the ref's distracted and Mero tries to do it, Sable will get in low blow, whatever.
Yeah.
But Droz will come out. That'll be that.
I thought you just said Droz will lock the link.
Then it'll lead to Sable's going to fight Jacqueline in a Brawl for All style match. Foxy boxing. Foxy boxing.
Vern Gagne somewhere is smiling to himself, going, I created this.
And
Red Gagne's got to be there on commentary.
Jacqueline will win.
Foxy boxing, brother.
Merrill will sort of knock Draws out on the outside. Draws will be Sable's cornerman or corner woman. No, he's a man, so cornerman.
Cornerman.
Merrill will knock him out. There'll be some sort of breath distraction, and he with Jacqueline, and Merrill will body slam Sable. And then Jacqueline will win. That'll lead to a mixed tag. And Mero and Jacqueline will win again. Then Mero, who had these open contracts, he would have been, after the Brawl, he would have had open contracts for people to fight him. Sable would have said, she's still got one of these open contracts that somebody can sign to fight you.
Yeah.
So you know who it's going to be.
Mike Tyson.
It's April. So I've got somebody who can fight you at WrestleMania, because this has been going on for ages. And then it'll be the butteriest bean of them all. Butterbean. In a word, boxing match. Because I don't want you to kill the man. But you still win, and Butterbean. I don't know whether Mero's still in the company.
No, he leaves in December.
And I don't know what. And Sable's a heel, I think, by Mania 15.
Yeah.
She's definitely, it's quite a story.
But in my
Nicole Bass, that could be who fights.
Sable's a babyface. Mero's still there as a heel, and Jacqueline. And Sable can celebrate with the butteriest bean of them all at WrestleMania.
Well, and he gets a contract.
And he gets a contract.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, mine, I mean, I thought yours is better than mine by a long way, actually, because it actually fits a narrative better. Mine's just sort of trying to fix a problem that I wouldn't have had, because I would never have booked it. But yeah, I would have mine as a UFC-style brawl tournament. Now, we've got the Dan Severn, we've got Ken Shamrock. Yeah. We have to build to... We're going to eventually get to those two in the Octagon ring again in the WWF. So, my competitors, 8-man tournament, Dan Severn, Ken Shamrock, Steve Blackman, Dr. Death, Mark Mero, Owen Hart, Droz, and The Godfather. So I'd have Shamrock tap out Owen, because I think they were feuding around this time, roughly.
Yeah.
Severn tap out Mero, Doc beat Godfather, and Steve Blackman beat Droz.
Oh, hey,
and I'm feeling bad, you know. I think Droz should have won mine now. I like Droz.
What's Droz?
He actually got over it.
I'd have Shamrock beat Dr. Death, but I would have this a bit more controversial, go to the judges, a split decision. Shamrock wins, but everyone like, hang on a minute, you bastard. And Severn had beat Blackman. Finals built up. In the build, Shamrock would seem a little bit intimidated by Severn, and in the match, Shamrock would tap, but the ref is distracted by the big boss man. He would end up going to the judges, who would give it to Shamrock, and Dan Severn is furious, but swerve, Shamrock has joined Vince McMahon's corporation. Yeah. And they'd take down Severn.
Oh my God, is Dan Severn now Austin?
Well, Shamrock would have a short feud with Austin.
No,
I'm talking two Raws.
Yeah, a couple of Raws.
And then
feud in that,
Dan would return, take down Shamrock. At the Rumble, Severn would be tossed out by Shamrock. And this would lead to a match at WrestleMania 15 in the Lions Den between Shamrock and Severn. And I think I'd have Severn win.
Draw.
Have a draw. And then, draw. In Japan. And that's it for me, done. I've got that rebooking over. I'm not doing it again.
Austin and Dan beat Shamrock and Vince, sure.
He would have like a glass of shandy. Glass of milk. Probably not.
Severn, yeah, tonic water.
He'll leave out the front door and walk off.
He'd have a little glass with his
a little Sprite
with a little olive in it. Right. So mine is
Sam's got a 64, man.
No, 16. Only 16. But what I've done is, what I would do is, prior to this, in like the lower... Well, it'd be how you introduce the hardcore title. Because at the leading up to it, you'd have a lot of the lower card matches descending to brawls, and that can be everything. Because look, you know, we can't keep having this. So all right, you want to keep fighting. Here's a belt that you can fight for. You know, instead of just wrecking everything. No rules. Yeah, no rules. They can run down the rules. You know, a falls count anywhere in the building. and stuff like that. No time limit, or if you want to have time limit because of the tournament, and stuff like that.
So you're not having it with gloves and...
No, not gloves. It's just
So
a
you've
fight.
just booking a wrestling.
We've got to work it.
Yeah,
And that wrestling's a work.
I know, but we've still worked it where it's a form of combat.
Well, I've changed it.
You've just
wrestling.
changed it to a wrestling. That's not what the rebooking is.
This?
It's not changed it to wrestling.
I'm not putting gloves on
all
me.
bollocks, but you have to. That's
No, I am not.
that's
Well, I've rebooked it. Sure.
that's the
Right,
rebook.
here's a match. Sure. First
I've
match.
just done a King of the Ring.
Yes, I am. The hardcore. Hawk v Droz.
Crap.
And for the first match. Sure.
Yeah.
And that can lead into the start of the dissension with
Where's
Yellow
Moss?
D, because more on that later. Moss is not in it.
Who wins?
Droz
Droz.
wins. The next match is Dr. Death v Bart Gunn, because Bart Gunn's going to be low on here. Dr. Death, you bring him in, he can, because he's heard about this tournament and what have you, and he can beat him.
He's
You ain't going to use like loads of
He's
weapons, Even though you call it hardcore, it can be one of them where they just beat the shit out of each other. There's no rules, and
Yeah,
stuff like that. No count-outs, all this bollocks. So Dr. Death wins that.
You mean like the hardcore title?
In a sense. Steve Blackman v Bob Ollie. He's not quite hardcore yet. Blackman wins that, obviously, because obviously we know where Blackman ends up in that division. Next match is Savio v Godfather, and Godfather wins that. You've got Vader. I've put Phineas because I couldn't remember his name at this point, which is Dennis Knight.
Yeah.
Vader wins that. Next match would be Animal v Chains. Animal would win that.
Oh,
More on this later.
Main event, Brian needs out.
The next match is Scorpio v Henry, or Canterbury. Scorpio would win that. And the next match, and I don't know if one of these is still in the company, but this would be how you can get rid of him. It's Bradshaw v Terry Funk. So now Funk was still around, and he then was teaming with Bradshaw, and Bradshaw said, and Funk on one show just said, I'm taking 6 months off for a bit, never come back. So maybe you could do that at this point. He's saying, look, I know this, this means a lot to me, and, he'd probably be my last thing here. Bradshaw goes, no, fuck off. That's how you can turn Bradshaw.
Yeah.
So Bradshaw wins that. You can kill off Terry Funk, and you can bugger off to... Was he ECW goes back to at this point, or was it WCW?
98.
Yeah. I think it's WCW. He's there in 99, and I don't know. Just wondered
I
about
don't
it.
think he's in WCW yet.
Okay. Next round, Droz v Dr. Death. Dr. Death would win. Droz would just lose, and then he'd get pissed off saying, well, where was you with Animal and Orc? You should help me, but that can be something like
Animal by his chance.
Yeah, by accident. He's trying to help him. More on that later. Next match, Steve Blackman v The Godfather. Steve Blackman would win that.
Yep.
Vader would beat Animal because Droz comes out and he's like, well, no, we told you, we've been doing this on our own. This is the reason for this tournament and stuff. And Vader would win.
Yep.
That. Bradshaw would beat Scorpio, again trying to give Bradshaw something. So the semi-finals, you got Dr. Death v Steve Blackman and Vader v Bradshaw, which I think was going on at this point anyway. Dr. Death would beat Blackman. Try to convince him to lose Dr. Death. And Vader would beat Bradshaw. And Vader would win the whole thing because I want to try and rehab Vader at this point.
Oh, okay.
Because it's, give him the hardcore talks. I know obviously it's nice that
Is he going to fight Butterbean or what?
No, there's no buttery bean. He is the buttery bean. It's just a way of introducing
What
that
if
belt
he
because
takes
it was
the
going
mask
to be.
off and it is Butterbean?
Well,
They do look alike.
Well,
They're a tag team in this.
he's more like a
It's
broad.
butter
He's
time.
more like a broad bean.
Bean time?
Bean time. Bean town. But that could be. You give Dr. Death a bit of a run, at least and everybody's brawling anyway. Just give him something.
Yeah, well,
that's what
obviously
they do.
you've got
That's what they do.
And you're building the stories with like.
you have got the
That's what
ready-made
they
story
did.
as well with Doc and Vader because they've been feuding in Japan forever.
Well, there you go,
Yeah.
and they were shy about this. You give Bradshaw a bit of a run. He's killed Terry Funk, which I don't know why I did quite like that when I wrote it. And you've got the LOD. So I like Terry Funk, but obviously he's clearly gone. And the LOD stuff was,
Gone.
Well, he was
Really
doing
gone
it.
Terry Funk's got to be a new shirt.
No, I mean, he's gone from the company, eh? So it's a way of writing him off. And then if you do bring him back, you've got something.
Yeah.
So that's how I would rebook it. No boxing gloves and no bean.
Well, if you would rebook Brawl for All to have a lot less brawl and a lot less for all, let us know on our website, which is Best
Oh yeah,
Brawl
chains.
Creative.
Thank you very much.
Get chains in.
Brian Lee.
If you feel you could have got chains in as well, let us know on our website, which is bettercallcreative.org, our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCCpod, or our Twitter, which is @BCCpod. Right then, we round out the episode as we always do with a fancy card. And as we looking at a legitimate boxer versus a legitimate badass wrestler, we thought, what about 6 matches that featured legitimate badass fighters, boxers, whatever it might be, versus legitimate badass wrestlers that I assume we all got.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Right then, I'll start with you, Sam, for your match number 1.
First match, smart gun. I think he should be in it, considering. Versus Muhammad Ali. Why not?
It
Sounds like
started with Ali.
Yeah, Ali would win.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd lose to Bart Gun. Although I want to see that match,
never
though,
know.
to be honest.
My match 1, the Grey Twins versus.
Were they fighters?
I think they were pretty badass.
Well, they were pretty much criminals. I don't know if they were like
Not pretty much. I mean, they definitely were.
Actually, I think there was boxers as well.
Yeah, I'm
weren't
pretty
there?
sure there was boxers.
Okay. Fair enough.
Versus
I retract my statement.
the DOA, and we've established that at least one of them was a brawler. So it's cool, but an 8-ball. What a team! I'm going to put up
An
the
8-ball and a
Twins.
crush.
How much of a twins?
Yeah.
Don
Don't
Fry.
Fry
Don
Oh,
Fry.
versus Finlay.
Funly, yeah.
Finlay. Finlay. He's going to go over. My next one, Harley Race. Not a clown. Harley Race.
Harley Race.
V. Mike Tyson.
Oh, that's a fight.
And I think Harley Race might just win it because I think he'd frighten Tyson.
I think he really would. My next match, Steve Blackman versus Conor McGregor, and I'm going to put over Blackman.
Yeah, with a stick.
Just to shore him up. Tyson Fury and Lennox Lewis
Oh,
versus the Road Warriors.
yes.
Fury and Lewis. I've watched Fury wrestle. He'd definitely win. Still come out not just still on a
A-Rap.
I think my next
Oh,
match,
what a
Steve
man.
Blackman v Tyson Fury.
No, he's got it.
I think I'll put Blackman over.
It's just taking him down.
Yeah, he would. I don't think Fury would be happy, but
My next match is what's his fucking
have you not typed this?
name? I've changed half of mine as I'm talking.
Ah.
Who was the bloke at in 1994's thingy? The Survivor Series at the end.
Oh, Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Bundy.
Chuck Norris versus Haku. And I'm going to put over. I'm going to put over. It's a draw. The world cannot go forward.
Haku and Eaton. You didn't know that.
Chuck Norris is hard.
Did you see these kicks? He nearly killed Jeff Jarrett.
That ain't hard. Adam Page come out and beat Jeff Jarrett.
Ronda. Oh,
Rob.
yeah. I was trying to think who Adam Page is, but Hangman here.
Yes.
Ronda Rousey
Yeah.
versus Jacqueline. I'll put Jacqueline over because Sam will cry all the way.
Yes. Next match, Haku. I think I've got his name right. Kimbo Slice.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Dead.
Right, yeah.
He is. Because Haku killed him. Yeah. Haku would win.
He heard the word slice.
Yeah.
Decided it was a cake.
And nobody beated Haku now.
He's the hardest man in the world.
Exactly.
I'm going to have a strange team of Harley Race and Fit Finlay because they are legitimately hard and they should be.
Tough.
Yeah, tough men. Versus Vinnie Jones and Roy Keane. Because it's 2 yards, man. And
2 yards, Charlie.
and he just said, relax. And that'd be it. So Roy Keane.
the crowd, relax.
I'm having a bad match. I might just go and smash it.
Thanks, Roy. I'm putting Roy and Vinny over. It's going to be emotional.
Randy Couture versus Bruiser Brody. Draw.
Because Brody just knows himself.
Brody, don't turn up. It ain't working for you. It wouldn't work for me, he hates me.
Next match, Ken Shamrock v Conor McGregor. I'll put it over Shamrock. He's got him beating.
Massive.
My next match is Mike Tyson versus Onita. And
in a pool.
Yeah. And Onita's ear needs to be ripped off.
He would do it. He would at all.
I'm putting over Tyson.
But you'd have to kill him to stop him, wouldn't you?
Hey, he's still going.
Yeah, they think they'll be come back. They had this firework thing that shot into the corner. It's amazing.
I think it's like a
The shopping mall, yeah.
Yeah,
So when it
but
blew up, they had to shut the whole thing down. There's so much smoke.
What a company.
That was just after
We've got to do that.
Brilliant. It takes forever and all. There's a button and you're supposed to press it. And they keep pressing it.
Oh,
The LD said he keeps pressing it. And the fireworks over here is supposed to shoot off. It takes forever.
That's one thing I do want to do.
That
That I
sounds
want to watch.
amazing.
We got to do more than Anita.
Josh Ledoux v Chris Eubank.
Well.
I'll put Eubank over. I love Josh Ledoux, but I love Eubank. I had to get Eubank on. He's a mad man. Originally it was McGregor, but then I thought, no, I'm having Eubank.
Eubank
I love
beat
it.
Josh Ledoux. He cutting himself with an axe and just seeing Chris Eubank's reaction with his monocle.
Sheriff Batch walking backwards. You'd think
he was.
I thought I was mad. I cut my arm with an axe. This bloke's mental.
Have you saw that Sheriff Ben?
Chris Eubank.
Drives in a truck everywhere. It's fucking bad, man.
Oh dear.
He's crackers.
Main event is Brock v Severn.
Yes.
Gotta be.
Quite right.
I'll put over Severn.
Nah, he wouldn't have Brock.
My main event is Brock Lesnar versus the Weldstone Raider and
the fighter.
You want some? Is that what it's
because he
You want
is
some?
the strongest man in the world. It is the Weldstone Raider going over Brock.
Now, you might not know the fighter, but I love him. Bas Rutten versus Hockey.
I've heard the name.
He's a Dutch kickboxer. He was in Pancrase.
Okay.
He was brilliant. He does like a liver shot with his palm, and he ruptured people's livers. He was
Jesus.
amazing.
I have
He
heard
was
the name.
brilliant.
Yeah.
And he did like the big kangaroo jump, and he could jump over an inch. He was alright. I mean, he was brilliant. He fought some Suzuki and everything in Pancrase. He was brilliant. Versus Haku. I don't think it'd end, so it's still going on here.
Fight for
The ultimate showdown.
Still ongoing.
But if you can decide who would have won that fight, or you feel we have missed a fight, let us know on our website, which is bettercallcreative.org, our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCCpod, or our Twitter, which is @BCCpod. That is the summer over, but we are now going to head into the fall. And fall, we very much may do, because we are checking out Unforgiven 1999, where they decided to put all of their main event talent into the main event, which led a lot
I don't know the call.
weak undercard. Was it Kane, Bulldog, Triple H,
Rock, Mankind, and Big Show.
Everybody's in it.
Taker was meant to be in it, but he left.
But Bulldogs,
Austin was
isn't
the enforcer. Because this is all the part that is going on at the minute of wrestling bios. They have just done Unforgiven.
Oh, there.
Yeah, so them around that time, and it's fucking weird. What else did you have? You had...
We're not finished with 99, I've just realised. 99
Yeah,
wrestling
yeah.
is shit.
It's the
We
one where you
haven't
got the kennel
touched-
from Hell.
Got the kennel.
We
Kennel.
haven't touched WCW, we did 99.
Oh, God, don't. We won't wish that on us. And, of course, we are checking out what happened in 2022 to start the beginning of the end of CM Punk and Tony Khan's relationship. What would lead to Tony Khan fearing for his life? You've got to ask yourself that. You empty-headed fuck. It is All Out 2022. Let's face it, the most exciting thing about that show happens after the show. We're going to check
the
it
muffins.
out. We're going to check it out. We're going to get the muffins in, and we're going to eat, and we're going to give credit to where they've been bought in Chicago. Good old Punk. It's never you, is it, mate? We'll find out whether it was you. Then. But that leads me to say from Mark Canterbury himself,
Goodbye.
and from Bracos himself,
Goodbye.
Goodbye, folks.